G'day, welcome back to Plugged In Australia, the podcast covering electric vehicles and the broader shift to sustainable transport across the country. I am your host Jamie, and today is Tuesday the 10th of February. Bit of a big Toyota news day today, which is a bit of an odd one. The Toyota Highlander EV 3-row flagship has been confirmed. Toyota CEO changes, which I mentioned briefly yesterday, and some of their new EV patents as well. We'll also delve into some BYD news and some Volkswagen news and a few other bits and pieces along the way. Let's get into it. Toyota has officially confirmed the Highlander EV as its first dedicated 3-row battery electric SUV, marking a significant step in the brand's electrification strategy, with a model designed for family buyers wanting space, range, and practicality without combustion. This is Toyota's entry into the large electric family hauler segment, built on an evolved eTNGA platform, which is optimized for bigger vehicles with a longer wheelbase to maximize interior room. The Highlander EV offers genuine 7 or 8 seat configurations, depending on how the second row bench seat or if it has captain's chairs, with the third row providing adult-friendly legroom and headroom. That's unlike some other cramped rivals. Plus, generous boot space even with all seats up for things like school bags, sports gear, or the grocery run. Fold flat seating creates a flat load floor for your weekend Bunnings trips or when you just need to grab some furniture. Powertrain options include single motor rear drive for efficiency focused buyers with around 220 kilowatt of output, or a dual motor all-wheel drive pushing combined 300 kilowatt for stronger acceleration in wet conditions. Plenty of that around at the moment, or even some light gravel roads. Torque is instant and abundant for confident overtaking on highways or climbing steep inclines when fully loaded. Battery packs are expected in the 80 to 100 kilowatt hour sizes, delivering up to 600 kilometers WLTP range in the most efficient rear drive long range spec. Real world would probably be closer to 500 kilometers with your aircon and your highway speeds, making it suitable for Sydney to Melbourne or Melbourne to Adelaide drives with one stop. The platform supports 800 volt architecture for fast charging, expecting peak rates up to 350 kilowatts, which should give you 10 to 80% in under 30 minutes with a compatible station, minimizing wait times on big road trips. Suspension features adaptive dampers for a smooth ride over potholes or corrugated outback tracks, with Toyota's safety suite including proactive driving assist for smoother traffic flow, enhanced intersection AEB detecting cyclists and pedestrians, better driver monitoring, and potential level 2 hands-off highway capability. Hands-off in the driveway is pretty good. Interior highlights include dual 12.3-inch touchscreens, wireless charging, premium materials, and a tri-zone climate for rear passenger comfort. Now, we do not have any official Australian launch confirmed yet, but the Highlander name, which is what they call the Kluger overseas, and 3-row focus make it a strong candidate for import, competing against the Kia EV9, the Hyundai Ioniq 9, and the Volvo EX90 in the large family electric space where demand is growing for 7-seaters with usable range, fast charging, and that world-famous Toyota reliability. Priced around $100,000 to $130,000 drive away, it could appeal to families upgrading from Kluger hybrids, wanting full electric without sacrificing space or capability. Toyota has a massive role to play in our market, and it is good to see that they're slowly but surely making that transition. And I think if something like this was to come to Australia, which I think it would definitely go a long way in helping us move along the transition. As I briefly mentioned yesterday, Toyota has announced a CEO replacement as the brand openly defends itself from the rapid rise of Chinese competitors like BYD, Geely, and Zeekr, acknowledging the pressure from affordable, tech-forward EVs capturing share in markets including Australia. The outgoing leader highlighted the need for fresh perspective in a changing landscape, with Toyota committing to accelerate electrification while maintaining its multi-path approach of hybrids, plug-in hybrids, BEVs, and hydrogen. Anyway, this comes amid Toyota's global sales dominance, but slower EV adoption compared to pure-play rivals, the Chinese brands now leading in volume and innovation speed. The new CEO is expected to push harder on battery electric development to close the gaps. Adding fuel to the fire, new patents exposed show Toyota working on game-changing EV tech. Some advanced solid-state batteries, as your buzzword for the year, can replace AI, for faster charging and higher energy density. Improved thermal management to maintain range in hot Australian summers or cold winters. Modular platforms for quicker model rollouts, and an in-wheel motors for better packaging and handling. These patents suggest Toyota is investing heavily behind the scenes to leapfrog in pure EV competitiveness, potentially influencing models like the Highlander EV and future Corolla updates we discussed last episode. For Australia, where Toyota holds massive market share but EV penetration lags, this leadership change and patent push could mean more committed local battery electric vehicle offerings sooner, helping counter the Chinese surge we've tracked with BYD outselling Tesla 10-1 in January's sales from episode 10. It's a balanced response, defending hybrid strength while ramping EV tech to stay relevant. And continuing on from that, to update you on the January sales surge that we covered in episode 10, where BYD led with over 4,000 deliveries and Chinese brands took top EV spots. New data confirms BYD outsold Tesla by a massive 10-1 ratio in some metrics for the month, with BYD at 4,156 total vehicles versus Tesla's under 2,000. This cements the changing of the guard in Australian EV and PHEV sales as affordable, diverse Chinese options continue flooding the market under the new vehicle efficiency standard. The breakdown for BYD, the Shark 6 plug-in hybrid ute dominated at 1,856 units, tradies and families snapping up the towing and range. Sea Lion 7 large electric SUV at 1,032 with its premium features and space, and the Atto 3 holding strong in compact crossover. Overall, BYD finished 5th in total new vehicle sales behind Toyota, Ford, Mazda and Kia, which I think is remarkable for an EV-focused brand. Tesla's Model Y remained the single top-selling EV at 1,512 units, but total brand deliveries down year-on-year amid competition from cheaper rivals with more variety. Zeekr and Geely rounded out top Chinese performance, pushing pure EV share higher. Now this builds on trend we noted last episode, BYD's local tuning, dealer growth and models like the upgraded Shark 6 making serious inroads against traditional leaders for Australian buyers wanting value, tech, your blade battery safety, faster charging and life compatibility with utes and SUVs. Tesla in the US has revealed final specs for the semi-electric truck, with 2 trims ahead of customer deliveries starting this year. This is marking a major step in heavy-haul electrification. The standard range trim uses a 700 kilowatt-hour battery pack for up to 800 kilometers of range, loaded at the gross vehicle weight, while the long-range version with 900 kilowatt-hour pushes it to 1,000 kilometers. That's pretty impressive for line haul operations with full trailers, mind you. Power comes from 3 independent motors delivering over 1,000 horsepower, combined and instant torque for a 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 20 seconds, fully loaded at 36 tons, with efficiency rated under 1.7 kilowatt hours per mile, even on highways. Regen braking recovers significant energy on descents, and the cab features centered driving seating position for better visibility, advanced autonomy hardware for future platooning, with trucks following closely to cut drag, like a slipstream, and safety systems like automatic emergency braking and 360-degree cameras. Charging supports megawatt level rates for 70% in 30 minutes, with sleeper cab options for long-haul drivers. Now, for us here in Australia, there is no local semi-plans being announced, but this tech could influence mining or interstate trucking electrification, especially with our vast distances and high diesel costs in transport. Deliveries start with PepsiCo and others proving real-world viability for zero-emission haulers. This is a subject that I could talk about at length. I do have some experience with trucks. I won't go into detail with it here on this episode, but needless to say, I will be working on a dedicated special episode that will focus on some more in-depth information in regards to heavy trucking and the transition to electric for those particular vehicles. Onward we go. China's 212 brand, known for rugged, military-derived off-roaders, is confirmed for Australia with Jeep-like ute and SUV models in electric and hybrid forms. The lineup features body-on-frame construction for durability, locking differentials front and rear, low-range transfer case, a high ground clearance, should be over 250mm, and approach and departure angles suited for serious off-road use like beach driving, outback tracks. Electric versions target 400 to 500 kilometers of range with fast DC charging. Hybrids adding petrol extender for remote areas without the proper infrastructure. Pricing should be pretty aggressive. They are aiming for under $60,000 to rival the GWM Tank 300 and the Isuzu D-Max, bringing affordable, capable off-road electrics for Australian regional adventure or work buyers wanting Jeep Wrangler vibe without the price tag. The ex-Holden plant in Thailand will stop building the GWM Ora electric hatch for Australia due to shifting production priorities, which is the local assembly ending. But imports continue from other facilities to maintain supply. Volkswagen has simplified the ID.Buzz pricing with clearer driveway offers across Pro, short and long wheelbase and GTX performance trims, making the electric van more accessible for families or commercial use. And that's our episode for today. A little bit of a shorter one. I appreciate you joining us today. I know it was a very heavy Toyota focus, but it's really good to see the brand that a lot of Australians buy cars from, for whatever reason, that they're taking the EV transition a little bit more seriously than they had before. You know, my usual spiel, subscribe for more, share your thoughts honestly. Any feedback you have is very much appreciated. info@pluggedinaustralia.com.au. And until the next time we meet, stay plugged in and charged. Ci vediamo.